Hey, 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 everyone. I'm going to try and get this where I can rest my hands so that you don't get seasick with the camera moving. Hi, 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 Savvy Sisters. Hey, we've got a really cool interview today, and I'm looking, when she gets on, I'll get her on, and it's Cathy Zahn, okay? And Cathy Zahn has made her life helping other people. She's got a non-for-profit that I think you're going to like, which brings us to this fantastic talk about how does helping others help our self-esteem. You know, when we help others in so many ways, it helps us grow in unbelievable ways. And one of those ways, just one of those ways, is self-esteem. And I think it's because for me, when I help others, I see the bigger picture. I see how much I am part of that, and it's part of me. Hello, Kristen. Hello, Sarah, honey. Hello, hello. Hey, I love it. Hello, Lee. So when we are getting out there and really actively helping someone, helping people, and yes, when we sell things, we're serving. That's very true. I love the wave. Hello, Lee. Oh, happy birthday, Lee. You just celebrated it, and I ended up out of town. I wanted to come. The pictures were fabulous. So happy birthday, sweetheart. When we have this, when we help people, when we serve people in so many ways, you know, when we serve in our business and we're getting paid, well, then we're getting immediate, you know, and sometimes we get more than that. But sometimes if we open some kind of service that really makes a big giant difference in this world, that really creates a movement. Well, Savvy Sisterhood's starting to create a movement. Not that, you know, I'm so wonderful, I'm not, but I'll tell you what, I love what I do. And I love being a help to all of you, and I love serving, and I love the community we're forming. Now, Cathy Zahn is doing the same thing, but get this, she makes bags out of coffee bean bags or coffee bean things. And then she has a school down in Cambodia. She helps people down in Cambodia. She's actually made a whole non-for-profit because of her desire. And she's helping people. Cathy is on. I'm going to bring her on right now so you can meet her. This is cool stuff. And it might make you start thinking about yourself. How are you helping? Because it really does help your self-esteem too. Oops, wrong one. Facebook keeps moving. And welcome in, Rita. Hey, Cathy.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. It's fantastic, fantastic. This nice early morning. I think it's a little cloudy here, and it's colder than I'm not used to fall. I keep thinking it's going to get warm out, and it's not. So I'm going to freeze.
You better get ready.
I have to get ready. I have to get
coming.
ready.
It's coming.
It's coming. It's coming. Okay,
So
I'm
thanks
going to
for
let
having me.
You're so welcome. I'm going to let you move in where there's a little more light for you on your face
Yeah. Okay. Is
so
that
that
better?
everybody can see you. I think
Good.
so. Hi,
Yeah.
Cheryl. Hey, hey. All right. So today I want to talk a little bit about your business.
Great.
First of all, now I didn't tell everyone. I know I told them about the bags you make
Okay.
and send down to Cambodia, which I think is fantastic, to the Zahn School. But what was the real meaning for you to what got you involved in such a big mission? And I didn't tell them the
Sure.
big mission either. That's all up to you. So tell them what your big mission is and how you got involved.
Okay, super. I will be happy to do that. So, several years ago, I read a book by Nicholas Kristof called Half the Sky. And it talked about, it was a culmination of his reporting of actually devastations around the world. And there
Wow.
were several chapters on human trafficking.
Human
So, it was the
trafficking. Yeah.
kind of book that when you finished reading it, you couldn't just close it and say, oh, well, I'm glad I don't live there. So it
Yeah.
was something that I felt I needed to act on. And the book covered, you know, many areas, not just Cambodia, which I am working on, but it talked what riveted me was the human trafficking. So the back of the book actually gave you ideas on how to help in big ways and small ways, and helping many causes, not just the trafficking.
Right.
So the chapters on Cambodia dealt with young girls, and I'm talking like 8 and 10-year-old girls that are servicing 10 men a day. And it was just a horrendous thought. And I'm the mother of 3 daughters, so that was just a crazy, I don't know who thinks that's a good idea. So, so
no.
right? I mean, it's unbelievable.
I don't understand it.
And unfortunately, I mean, I'll talk about Cambodia, but unfortunately, trafficking is everywhere. In the United States, it happens to be worldwide a $32 billion a year industry. It's a greater industry, billions with a B, greater than Nike and Google put together. And it's driven by demand. And until we can conquer demand, you know, it's frustrating. So my theory was that education could be an answer. I mean, we could all send money, but I don't know how good that would be for them. So my feeling is that education can be the most effective way to fight the trafficking and fight poverty. You know, it's complicated. It's not just one thing. It's various.
It does start with education. It does start with education.
It does,
because
and
if
you can imagine,
get rid of the demand.
Exactly. And in the Asian countries, girls aren't thought of as much. So you have a lot of things you're dealing with. So we had situations where a father would be so desperate that he would sell his daughter for $50. So it's that whole thing. And he doesn't think really much that she should go to school. So we were fighting a few things. So anyway, the book led me to ways to help, and I contacted people. And so we wound up building a school in Cambodia. And we have 500 students. We do have boys as well, boys and girls, because they need to be educated on how to treat girls.
Of course. They need the education too for a very full, wonderful environment and culture.
Absolutely.
Everybody needs to be educated. Yeah. So do you when you first, well, number one, I live in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and we've been told that this is just a big, high human trafficking area because of Detroit and Chicago going down south. And
you're a corridor. Unfortunately, I know.
Unfortunately, it's very bad, and the cops can't seem. Really, education is the key, because cops are policemen. My brother's a cop, so they cannot touch it, because these guys are so slick. They see what's happening, but they can't get them for a crime. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's so weird.
It is. And they approach the girls as a boyfriend effect, you know. So at first the girl is like, hey, there's nothing wrong here. And then it turns, and then they're stuck. So we wanted to build a school. I needed money. You know, I had a great idea, but it doesn't, you know, I was thinking, okay, now what? So I didn't want to run fundraisers constantly, because I'd be too stressed.
That's hard.
Always hoping to get the money and all the work. So I thought, if I could make a product that people would buy, I would take that money and put it away, and that would be for the school. So that's what we did. And we wound up making handbags. We started with burlap coming from around the world from coffee bean bags. And we made it with leathers, and they're very unique. And they are popular. And then I had some fancy friends that didn't really want the burlap, so they said, could you make some leather bags? So we wound up, then we have an array. We have the burlap, the traditional, we have the leather, we even have cowhide luggage.
Wow. You've got to put that in the comments down, because women, and then the proceeds, most of the proceeds go to the school in Cambodia.
Correct. So my company is called Gracie Greene, where I do my selling. And then the foundation is called The Giving Three, after my daughters. I have the 3 daughters. And then, so the money I take from Gracie Greene, and I put it into The Giving Three. And at the end of the year, I speak to the headmaster at the school, and, you know, what do you need this year? So once the school was built, we then took on the needs of the school, computers, you
Wow.
know, whatever they need.
Right,
So
right. All the supplies.
exactly. So then we supply them at the end of the year. And
So,
listen, it doesn't take a lot. I have to just be clear. People need to know. People say, oh my God, I could never do this because you need millions of dollars. No. When we went to the opening of the school, we bought school supplies for the kids, and it was $1.50 per child for the year. I
wow.
take my kids to Staples,
Yeah,
$500 later. I don't even know what's in the
like
bag.
that. Yeah. I know. I know quite a
So
difference.
a little
So,
bit goes a long way.
you know, all and I'll tell you what I know you were riveted. I know that. And it struck a chord because of your daughters. But
Yes.
still a lot of people will get that and then
Yeah.
they will go have a latte, forget about it. You know what
Right.
I mean? Yeah.
Sure.
So
Sure. I know.
so what spurred you to just keep that? What was it, the feeling that you had that was just nagging at you that you had to do something?
It was hard to sleep at night looking at my girls in their bed and knowing that 10-year-old girls were out in the streets. And listen, in Cambodia, and since we have trafficking in the States, sometimes people say to me, you should be worried about the United States, which of course I am. But
Yeah.
the point is, we have a lot of resources here. In Cambodia, if you're down and
Or
out or
nothing.
you're in the street, you're done. No, they can't care for you. They can't care for themselves.
Wow.
So I felt that, I just felt that it was something sort of easy, and it didn't take a lot. And my girls are now all in school and college, and what am I doing all day? So I thought, let me help.
And have you found, well, how does it make, you must make you feel extremely good.
I'm
Does
happy.
it?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I speak about it, and I'm always shocked when I speak that there are people in the audience that are unaware. They're like,
Yeah.
trafficking, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
So,
And
yeah, so
it's actually as old as time, it's as old as
I
prostitution.
know
It's the same
it
thing.
is. It
And
is.
and so yeah, and so it is as old as time, but it's time for it to stop. And it's
Absolutely.
time
Absolutely.
for the education that an 8-year-old girl is a girl.
Yeah.
It's a girl.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah, she's
little
a little
girl.
baby.
She
Yeah.
doesn't
I
even
mean,
have those feelings yet.
no,
Leave her
she's
alone.
terrified. It's a
Yeah,
terrifying thing.
yeah,
And
yeah.
we've tried to handle the fathers, and in Cambodia in the older grades, for every year now that the girl completes, daddy gets a $50 kickback. So daddy
Wow.
is incentivized to keep her in school,
Oh
and
my,
she's happy
yeah,
to
that's
be there.
very good.
And for every year that she can get an education, she can stand up for
She
herself,
gets.
hopefully, finally.
And
And
so
she
that's a brilliant way. That's a brilliant
Yeah,
way to change the mindset. Well, I can send my daughter to school where she betters herself and I still get money, which we need for the
right.
family to survive.
Exactly.
And they do see
Exactly.
children as a way to get money into the family. So that helps right there.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
fantastic. That's
And then my
fantastic.
my bags, my motto, we have tags on every bag letting the customer know that that purchase is going to XYZ, be it computers or a bathroom or whatever they need. And so, it's telling them that you're taking these girls from oppression to opportunity is
And
basically what
how,
I'm saying.
I know you're getting a great sense as things go, but what do you feel you get back from this?
Well, it's like the
It's a big
starfish
question.
story. I mean, there's so many of them. If I can help one or two make it out and
Yeah,
be successful and then go back and help others, I mean, that's what drives me. They constantly send me videos. They got the computers. They had never seen computers. They're learning
that's
their
cool.
ABCs. I mean,
That's
it is
cool.
very rewarding. And to
Yeah,
think that we're here and they're there and we can help
yeah.
with a long stretch, and it's really not a big effort. You
There's
know.
a lady I know who is Cynthia Kersey, who has the Unstoppable organization. You should probably
Okay.
talk to her. She builds schools down in Africa.
Oh,
And she
wow.
started, and communities. They even now are putting in clean water. And
Oh,
that would be a
wonderful.
good alliance for you. And on
That would
top of
be.
that, what she said, I always remember one story she told me that was so cool. She said that there was one boy in the village who wanted to go to university so badly in the United
Hmm.
States. And
Hmm.
he actually applied and got accepted, but he had no way to get there.
and he
Yeah.
had to get to the train, and it was miles and miles. He walked 4 days through all the terrain and everything to get to a train, to get to the ship,
Oh,
to get to the and I mean, just the trials you hear that this child did, and he didn't even have shoes. And
right.
so all of
Right.
this, I mean, the desire, and when you
Sure.
see that, and you see
Yes.
that your school or the things that you have done has
Sure.
made a difference for that child to have that desire. I mean,
Right.
that just takes my breath away.
And you're
Takes my breath
absolutely
away.
right. You're absolutely right. These kids, when they are all over going to class, and when the
Yeah,
computers came, they were all over that. They
sure.
want it. They want it.
They
They
want
love
it.
it. They
Sure.
pick it up quickly.
Sure. Their
They just don't have
minds.
the opportunity. So
Yeah.
unless you create the opportunity, I mean, the book itself always talked about talent is everywhere, but unless you give them an opportunity to show it and express
Yeah.
it, it's lost.
You're
So,
changing a culture. You're
well, I
changing a
hope. I mean,
culture.
there's a
Yeah,
lot
you
of
are.
people that sell items that give back, which is a popular way to go today. And people have to understand their choices have impacts, and they can
Yes.
choose to buy something that can change the world. And there's so many things out there today. I mean, our products, tell it,
Yeah.
but there are others. And it's a great way to go. You could buy a beautiful bag at Nordstrom's, or you could buy this bag that gives
Yeah.
back and is still a nice bag.
Yeah.
So,
And it's doing a wonderful service. And
yeah,
you're helping
yeah.
the world in a better way.
I hope
If
so.
we really need to start changing the way we look at things.
We
And
do. We do.
and guys, savvy sisters, if you could do your part. I mean, a bag that helps a kid go to school,
Yeah,
stops human trafficking, changes mindset. I mean, we have to
absolutely.
start with the young. So if you have it in your finances and can do it, more
Sure.
power to you, because that is something. And every time you look at it, you can think, I did my little
Absolutely.
part to help that
Absolutely.
child.
And then
And
what happens when they're walking with these bags, especially the burlap and leather bags, people
yeah,
stop you. And then,
yeah,
I mean, I get stopped, and then people are sorry they stopped me because then I go into a whole dissertation, and they're like, "Lady,
that's okay.
we just wanted
That's
to
okay.
say nice bag," and and I'm still talking as they walk away.
Oh, oh,
But
that's so cute.
with the holidays coming, it's a nice gift. Who knows what to get
Yeah,
people anymore? This has
yeah,
it comes in a package with the statement. We have cards, we have the whole info,
yeah.
and it's an
Just
easy
more.
way. You talked about people maybe going for a latte after they've read the book. And honestly, everybody has their own charity. Even my own friends said,
Right,
Kathy, God bless you, but I'm not into it. And it
right,
was work in the beginning, but now people are, oh, can I write a check? Can I make a donation? Can I buy a
right,
bag? It's easy now.
right,
So people
right.
are on board. They're like, oh, good, you did the rough stuff. Now, we can jump on. And that's
Oh,
fine
yeah,
because everybody
yeah.
has their own passion.
Right, right,
So,
right. Ah, well, you are doing fantastic work.
thank you.
Please, please, we need to get into the link, how to get a hold of you, or to
Sure.
to buy the bags and stuff like that. I would love
Great.
if you would comment and get that in there.
I will
And
do that.
savvy sisters, all of us out there are doing something to better this world. That's the one thing about Savvy Sister. I don't know if you know
Yeah.
that, Kathy. They're
Yeah.
all people who want to better this world. And so, you to find that just that love for it, to grow and grow and grow, to conquer the fear. Just take
Yep.
baby steps. Don't you think, Kathy? Just
Absolutely.
take the baby
Absolutely.
steps. Uh,
Absolutely. If you think something's so overwhelming, you just take it
Right.
in pieces, and
You
it
take it
makes
in
a
pieces.
difference. It
It
makes
does.
the slightest thing. I mean, smiling at someone makes a difference in their day. Never mind a
Exactly.
$1.50 for school supplies. I mean, that's pretty simple.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer right there. Yeah. Yeah, it's the little things. And
It is.
every little step you take makes
It is.
big giant movements in the
Absolutely.
world. And
It
it's
does.
strategic little steps. So
It
think
does.
about, make a plan, and then start acting on the plan in a strategic way that gets you to where you're helping the millions you want to help.
Absolutely.
And every step you take builds your confidence. It builds your
Absolutely.
self-esteem because you're
Yep.
doing it. Right,
Sure.
Kathy?
Absolutely. And then,
Yeah.
you meet people along the way, and one thing leads to another, and then maybe you meet someone who is looking to do something big. You just never know.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah,
raising
you just never
awareness.
know.
People have to become aware before anything can happen. And when people are shocked to hear me speak, it's shocking to me. So, you know, I mean, they need to be aware.
They do need to be aware. Oh, it was a joy to have you on.
Great.
And it's
Well,
wonderful to have you as a savvy sister.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the opportunity to share and get out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Great,
I look forward to more comments from you. You have a good perspective.
Yes.
I like it.
Great.
I like
Thank
it.
you. I
So
will. I'll put some comments.
Yeah, put some down there so that they know how to get a hold of you. Okay,
Absolutely.
guys, and for all of you, I'm daring you to get your plan together and start acting on it one step at a time. And every time you do something, say yay, say I did it,
Absolutely.
I did it, and just
Definitely.
keep acting on these steps. And I'll tell you what, you will be rewarded beyond all means.
Absolutely.
You really will.
Absolutely. You know,
All
when
right.
we were handing out those school supplies, you would have thought we were giving them gold bullion. The kids were so excited.
Oh my God.
But, you know,
Yeah.
they were. And so I'm saying it does. You might not see it at the other end, but I can tell you it
It's
does impact
Yeah.
them.
Oh, yeah,
So,
it does.
thank you.
Oh, make it an awesome day. All right.
Great.
Start
Bye-bye.
acting one step
Thank
at a
you.
time. Bye, Cathy.
Be
Bye,
well.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Namaste. Bye-bye.